Alcohol is okay in moderation.
It's not scientifically. It's harming your kidney. Any amount of alcohol is bad for your kidney, and it is one of the main causes of cancer, and societally it causes problems outside.
Lots of Muslims drink.
Sorry,
Lots of Muslims.
they're wrong.
What would you do?
In a country like this, nothing. In any country where there is a peaceful treaty with someone, Prophet Muhammad said. Can I just finish this part? Prophet Muhammad said, there's types of non-believers, right? There's a combatant non-believer, a dhimmi non-believer who have protection, if you live under a Muslim state, for example, and then you have mu'ad who you have a treaty with. Prophet Muhammad said, if you kill a non-combatant believer, right, you will not smell the fragrance of paradise. So we do not have vigilantism in Islam. So if you think someone those people who done whatever they done in France, 2 people from 5 million population in France, that doesn't represent the majority.
No, of course.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, so Islam preaches tolerance. We say, yes, we find it offensive. That's our own opinion. We're entitled to it because we love our Prophet. That doesn't mean I'm going to be a vigilante, doing this to you or doing that to you or doing that to you. Now, that's the answer to the first question. What is the second question?
That's a good answer.
Okay.
Sticks and stones, they break like bones, but words may never harm me.
Okay, what is the exactly? Yeah. I don't. To me, I very rarely get offended. Yeah, I get offended with very specific things. Now, what is the second?
Nobody can
question?
offend me. I'm not offended by anything.
Okay.
Because if people want to call me names, they want to say this.
No, these things don't offend me, but there is things that I hold valuable.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Then these things, there is a limit. Like if you walk in, do you have any close relatives?
My father.
Do you love your father? If someone did something to him, is that going to make you angry and offend? Of course. So there is things that we hold precious that we might make us get angry when something happens. But generally, things about me personally, if you talk about my person, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Yeah. The second thing was what? What was the second question you wanted to ask?
Did this, there was a similar demonstration because the school were going to teach about same-sex relationships.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if you believe personally, right, that's your religious belief. You believe that it's a sin to do same-sex relationship, right? And then we have you, for example. You're not religious. You're not following religion. You believe it's okay, right? That's your opinion. You think you should be entitled to having your opinion. Do you agree? Why then we don't say that the other individual should be entitled to have his opinion as well? Okay, if they have entitled to their opinion, they can say, I don't want my child, not your child, my child, right, to be taught a specific thing about ABC. That's his choice. He personally believes that is a bad influence for his child because of his religious traditions.
But
why should we impose now? This is the problem now. This is what I find problematic because people preach tolerance and say the LGBT community is preaching tolerance, right? If you're preaching tolerance, then you should say, okay, I'm allowed to believe what I want, which Islam gives you the freedom to do,
absolutely,
to believe what you want, but you should let other people also believe what they want to believe.
I agree with that. The problem
as long as we don't harm anyone, do anything to one.
That's true.
Yeah.
The problem is this.
Do you know someone went to jail for not letting his daughter attend LGBT? Do you agree with something like this? Not allowing your daughter attend the class of sexual education because you personally don't want, so you go to jail because of it?
That's wrong.
Okay, so that is what country is doing.
No.
So there should be freedom.
One of the problems, I personally don't think, I think all schools should be secular. There should be no religion in any schools whatsoever.
Again, that's your opinion. So what if someone disagrees, right?
And there are religious schools in this country where whether they're Catholic or whatever, Jewish or whatever. But
or Muslim as well, there is.
Yes.
They're little, they're not
much. One of the problems is when you're growing up, when you're young.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a good example. So if you put 30 children of all different backgrounds in a room or a playground together, they will all get on.
قبلة هي هذه الناحية لو تصلي هناك هيك he just wants to know the direction of prayer.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah.
So if you
take few children, you were saying,
if you
give an
put
example.
30 children that have all different colours and backgrounds and male and female, classroom, they'll all get on. Often their prejudices.
Have you been with any classes of children?
No.
You don't get along.
No.
You don't get along, but yeah,
No,
sure.
a lot of the prejudices come from their parents.
I agree.
That is a shame.
I agree. Can I share my ideas on that? We believe as Muslims, and I'll give evidences for it, yeah? To show that Islam is not claims, it's evidences, yeah? Islam says that everyone is born believing in a creator. What is the evidence for that? Evidences for that? I'll give you. Look, before letting me speak, then it's not an open-minded thing to say you cannot give evidence for something, right? Okay, Oxford University conducted a study, 57 academics, right? On the period of 3 years, brought children from 20 different countries without any influences put on them, conducted studies on these children. It's published in Oxford University, and they realized that they have an innate, these are atheists, yeah, atheist social scientists, yeah, and they said they have an innate receptivity to the divine, okay? Number one. Number two, we have a book called The Gospel of the Red Man. I can give evidence from social science. I do have. Like, there's a book called The Gospel of the Red Man. It's written by a Christian, not a Muslim. He went to the Native Americans, yeah, and he was writing their beliefs. They didn't have communication with influences from other societies, and they were living with themselves. They believed in an entity higher than themselves, right? Every civilization that lives throughout history believed in some sort of higher entity. Okay, so it is a part of our identity. So, for example, if you leave the children, they will still believe in a creator. That's the point I want to make. But actually making them have bad prejudices against other people, that's wrong. But Islam doesn't teach that. Islam teaches tolerance, which is I was telling you, that other people can have their faith. This life is a test. You can believe what you want in this life. You can do something, you can believe things which we believe is wrong. Right? We're not going to prosecute you for it as an individual. That's why I said Jews used to live with Prophet Muhammad, Christians, even hypocrites, people acting like they're Muslim, they're not. Prophet did not go around slaughtering these people or something. They were living there, right? So we are tolerant. So teaching your children what is right and wrong is okay. But teaching them to impose the right and wrong by force on other people is wrong. Would you agree with that? Would you teach your child to do good things?
Everybody should teach their children.
Yes, so there are some sort of things you need to teach.
You see, there are, one of the reasons why London is the greatest city in the world is because of its tolerance.
Disagree.
You don't think London's the greatest city in the world?
Have you been to every city in the world?
No.
So how can you say that? I love that generalization. So that's another person. That's what I say. I say, look, there is many places that are. Look, I love Austria more than London. I'll tell you why.
I've been to Austria. It's a small place.
I don't love the people more, but I love the place. Mountains, rivers. I used to live in a place. It's very beautiful. That's the point. So it depends. Subjective thing to say something is the best place in the world. I love the people here. The people here are great. I love the people in London. I want to take the people in London and put them in Austria.
No,
they will live in Austria.
For freedom, this is the greatest city in the world, and we have so much happening here that is good.
Would you say it's freedom to put a man in jail for not allowing his child to look? Would you say it's freedom? Would you say it's freedom? Thank you. I agree. So there is some exceptions, and I believe it's a good country. I believe it's a great country. So, I wouldn't be here if it's not good.
I think one of the things that frustrates me.
Yes.
One of the latest things that frustrates me.
Yeah.
Is this obsession with what they call Black Lives Matter. Because it's a left-wing political organisation. It's divisive.
Do you agree though? All lives matter, of course, including black lives. But do you agree that there is prejudice against black people?
But there's prejudice against white people as well.
Of course, I'm not disagreeing with that, right? But I'm saying I believe there is groups today that are groups of Africans, black people, that have beliefs that the white man is the devil. So I believe that's prejudice. And they believe that. They look at history, they say, oh, there was slavery, there was this, there's that, so they come to this conclusion. But do you believe, that's what I'm trying to ask, yeah? You answered a different to my question. Your answer was not an answer to my question. I said, do you believe there is prejudice against black people?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if there is, and especially in America, if you look at the cases...
More so than here.
And here, yeah. No, but I'm saying especially in America, if you look at the police and how they deal with people from an African-American background, and how do we deal with other communities? It's not the same.
Very
here in the UK, they have colors. They have codes for people who look like me, codes for people who look like you, codes for... This is like in this country.
These are very complicated issues.
Yeah.
Because
So I'm saying the whole idea is not bad to say that Black Lives Matter. They do matter, right?
No,
but
every life matters.
Yes, I agree, including black lives.
The problem is the the guy that was killed in America was actually a violent criminal. And
No,
he'd
but
been
it's
turned
how
into-
he was killed.
Yes, it was
Do you
wrong.
agree that? Yeah, you agree. We should tell we should bring people to court. They should have the right to be prosecuted in court. This is a system. Yeah,
Violence is
I cannot put
wrong.
my leg on someone's neck and kill him.
Violence, I
Yeah,
have no time for
yeah,
any violence.
yeah. That is the
But-
whole reason that the backlash happened because of the way it happened.
But there is, you see, I was brought up to believe that when I see somebody, I don't see colour, I just see, if somebody respects me, I respect them, I couldn't care less.
That's
about
what Islam
anything else.
says. That's what Islam says.
Okay, and
You see, you believe in religious morals.
so that's how I was brought up by my father.
Yes.
So you know, I don't think, oh, he's black, I can't
You don't
stand
have
him.
categories for different people.
I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, which is the right thing.
Right. So
The Prophet said there is no difference between a black, a white, and a black.
over. This is probably one of the least racist countries in the world when it comes to these things, and over time, things have been improving. So you know, let's say in the 1970s, things were very different to they are now.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Now, what is frustrating is if you listen to some of these people that support Black Lives Matter, you would assume that all white people are racist and all.
Some of them can be
structurally
extreme.
racist.
I agree. Some of
They
them
are
can be extreme.
minority.
Yeah. Some of them I've seen, they're not extreme, right? Some of them advocate for like not to have prejudices against other people. So look, you mentioned a problem in society, yeah? It comes back to the argument I was making about morality. Islam's morality is not like human morality or its deficiency. It deals with racism. It deals with poverty. It deals with crime.
So does society.
Sorry?
So does society.
Not here.
Yes, it does.
No, okay. Here, do we have knife crime? How do you see the knife crime and the
Knife crime
Okay.
is too high.
Oh,
in
okay.
London.
The theft.
And Sadiq Khan
A
is
step
to
by
blame
step,
for
the
that.
theft. Do you know you have a bike? How many times do you see bikes getting stolen?
No, I had 2 bikes stolen only a few months ago.
Thank you. So you, this is my point. Look, when you say,
Sadiq Khan,
yeah,
who is of your faith,
yeah,
he is a problem.
he could be. I don't know his political views. I'm not a political person. I don't know his views.
Right.
I don't support him or go against him. I don't. If I study his life,
Actually, he's interesting.
Study his life?
because-
Yeah.
I'll tell you why he's interesting. He is. There's a lot of things that I don't like about him. And it's not because of his religion, not because of his colour,
Yeah, yeah,
it's everything else. So he's too soft on knife crime when we should be tough on knife crime.
Sure.
He's obsessed with political correctness, which is actually divisive.
what you're saying right now is exactly what I'm saying. That I'm saying that look, Islamically, it's not dependent on his opinion, Sadiq Khan's opinion, or this person's opinion. No, it is moral laws that are perfect within themselves. So if they're applied, for example, if they're applied, gambling is a big reason why we have poverty in society. It's a big, huge reason why we do. People who are alcoholic, they kill people on the road. Do you know knife crime that I mentioned?
The knife
Do you
crime
know,
is
do you know
terrible.
how alcohol is participating in that? According to the Metropolitan Police, 2013, not my statistics, this country's
Drugs
police.
and alcohol are a problem.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Islam deals with these issues. Like Metropolitan Police, 2013, 2014. 60 to 70% knife crime was on a Friday night, Saturday night, people who were under influence. Why? Because they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand.
Alcohol is okay in moderation.
It's not scientifically, it's harming your kidney. Any amount of alcohol is bad for your kidney. And it is one of the main causes of cancer. And societally, it causes problems outside.
Lots of Muslims drink.
Sorry?
Lots of Muslims.
They're wrong. I don't support them. They are doing one of the major
I
sins in
don't
Islam.
drink.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm saying.
I don't drink.
Remember, I said in the beginning, Islam is perfect. I don't defend
Are you
Muslims.
perfect?
No, I'm not perfect. I'm a Muslim. I said Islam is perfect, not me. And Islam asks you to follow as much as you
Have you
can.
ever drunk in your life?
Never. Alhamdulillah.
No, have I.
Yeah.
I've never had a drink in my life.
Okay.
Not for religion.
Never drink, never drugs,
Have
never
you
these
ever
things.
smoked marijuana?
Never any type of smoke. Not any
I
type.
know many Muslims smoke marijuana.
It doesn't matter, they're wrong. They're doing things are wrong. Islam says don't.
Are they wrong?
Yes, they are. They're harming their bodies. They're harming people in society. How cannot they be wrong? God, you have this.
Marijuana is not really unless you take it in, unless you excessive, marijuana is probably okay.
Do you know the reason why marijuana is haram in Islam? It's impermissible. Why?
Why?
Because it's not the aspect of just the physical damage, it's the aspect of losing consciousness. That is what Islam is. Why? Because you make actions, you're not responsible anymore. You don't know what you're doing. You commit actions, these actions can be wrong. Why do people who have drugs go steal and go kill? Because they're not...
But that's when people when they're losing control.
Yeah,
I mean, you
okay.
could say,
So if you prevent them in the beginning, right?
But
Prevention is better than cure, yeah? If you prevent them.
Yes,
yeah.
but not everybody turns to excess.
Sorry?
Not everybody becomes excessive. I mean, we have in this country, you can use marijuana legally to treat some pain.
Okay, can I answer you with something you would agree with? Does everyone break the driving laws?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes.
I don't disagree, I don't agree with that. Maybe somebody doesn't break the driving laws.
Yeah. Everybody
Okay, okay. There is general laws in the country, you agree?
Yes, which we all break.
No, not every law. There are many laws we don't break. Okay, there's a law of public indecency. Have you broken that law?
No.
No, but it's there. Why is it there? Laws are put because of the general things in society. General things. Someone might do it. Laws are put generally. You're not looking at individuals. You're saying some people do not become alcoholic. We don't look at some people. We look at the general picture of society, and we give a general law based on that. That's how you prevent problems. But if I say, okay, yeah, you can prevent yourself, take. Every alcoholic in the beginning, he says, I'm a responsible drinker. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Then he has some problems in his life.
But a lot of people's problems in life are created by their...
Islam solves all of them. I'm giving you. Okay, have you read the Quran?
No.
Would you like to read the Quran? Keep an open mind.
I'm open-minded, but
Are you open-minded enough to read the Quran?
I haven't got the patience.
I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy.
Do you know, I've never even read the Bible. I've never read anything.
I have.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but
Because I'm open-minded.
No, you won't be. Let me tell you won't be anybody more open-minded than me.
Okay, so you will read the Quran then?
No.
It's not that big of a book.
No, I haven't. I don't know. I suppose it doesn't really interest me reading with these readers. I read a lot actually in my bag.
Do you know why?
Go on, tell me why.
You have your own prejudices. You have your own. I'm telling you, I'm being honest. And you have your own inclination towards certain things. So because you're inclining towards these things.
I'm very opinionated.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm a control freak.
That's the problem. If you are like this, then you want to read things that fits with your own understanding. You agree?
Not necessarily, but so I am.
Because Islam is the idea of Islam is submission, and you.
Yes, I'm not submissive.
that's what I'm saying. So you don't. You have a problem with the Quran because it's telling you to submit, right? But a person who keeps an open mind, he looks.
No,
There's there evidence this is from
I'm
God.
very, very open-minded in life generally.
Yeah.
But as a business person, if I didn't have certain disciplines and opinions, I would fail. So you have to,
Yeah, of course, we're unique. We're different. Yeah.
And that's what makes the world one.
Yeah,
That's
one of the signs of creation of God.
No.
No, we're not the same.
But that's perfect. It's perfect that we're not the same.
That's not what I'm saying. Imagine if creation was all just one being, one preferences, one. There would be no businesses, because you're just selling one thing because people like it. So that's a sign of God putting diversity. And Allah said He made us nations and tribes, so we can get to know each other. You agree with that?
But, yes.
So what? So there's parts you agree.
But it's interesting. So if somebody has a slightly different sexuality you frown upon them.
Who does me?
Yes.
No. Who told you that?
Well,
have you been again? You're making a judgment. All the time. Do you see the prejudice I'm mentioning?
I know.
You see, I've met with many. Look, when you live in the West, you come across. I see it the opposite way. I'll give you an example. 2 days ago, I was in the train, and there was two gay people. They went on the train, they sat on the chair, and they started speaking about me. I'm sitting, minding my business.
They weren't unpleasant about
They
it.
were.
Well, that's wrong.
That's the point I'm trying to make. You're looking at just one side. I was just minding my business, man. I'm looking at my phone.
Say it wasn't very nice.
They were saying, oh, the Quran have these laws, I guess, and they're looking at me. They keep looking at me, and they're saying, oh, and one of them started screaming. Then the other person, he told him, no, don't do that on the train. So he didn't do it on the train. The point is this, and to me, I couldn't care less, man. I look at my phone, I didn't even look at him. The reason being is this, right? There is people who like this in society, and there is people who like that in society. It's in every group. Do not generalize and think everyone looks the same. To me, I look at you personally, I look at you with empathy, that I can be in your position. What if I was in your position? Do you get the point? That's good. That's what I do. That's how Islam teaches me to do. And when I do that, I have a rational discussion with you. If I believe, for example, someone is doing something right or wrong, if you think he's doing wrong, then I will try to rationalize why I think he's wrong. Right? If it makes sense, it makes sense.
One day I was here and I was talking to a Muslim guy.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, and I think he was born here actually.
Yeah.
And he was telling me his grandmother got married when she was 11. And he was telling me if a girl is able to look after her family at 8, she's ready to be married.
If a girl is what, sorry?
If a girl's able to look after her family at 8 years old, she's ready to be married. Do you believe that?
I don't think any girl is able to look after her family when she's 8 years old. That's a hypothetical and non-existent example. In Islam, the conditions for marriage is not age. Conditions for marriage is the following. The girl is physically ready, there's no harm in her. Psychologically ready. There is no future harm that will occur in the girl. Right? That is the conditions. Why? Because ages 18 in the UK, 14 in Brazil, 13 in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because societies are different.
Are you allowed to have 4 wives?
That's a good question. Perfect question. Chapter 4 of the Quran, right? Verse 3, I believe, that speaks about the marriage to more than one. Do you know what it says? It says you can marry 2s, 3s, and 4s. Then you know what it says? If you cannot do justice, marry only one. Okay. It commands you, but allow me to give an answer, a complete answer to that question, yeah? When it says marry only one, it puts a condition. Condition is justice. What is justice in Islam? I have to treat them equally in whatever I can treat them equally in.
Okay.
I cannot have...
Why doesn't it work the other way around?
Sorry?
Why doesn't it work the other way around?
Because Islam is an eternal religion. I'll answer, for example. 1,400 years ago, or let's say 300 years ago, was there a DNA test? There was no DNA test.
There's no what?
DNA test.
No, not.
Okay, so if 2 men are married to one woman and they have intercourse with her, who's the child who's the father?
I suppose you wouldn't know, would you?
I'm giving you an example, right? There is many reasons. Look, this is wisdom of the Creator. Creator knows His creation, right? Holding, fighting, this is my son, this is my son. And there was people who's doing these things. They don't even know the son.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is that not unfair on women?
Sorry?
Is that not unfair on women?
Because you're coming from I'll answer that question. I'll give you now an answer that I think you will be happy with, yeah? You're coming first from a position where you think there should be complete equality. And I don't agree. I believe we should be equity. We're different. Yes. So we should deal with the differences in the correct way, right? We don't get the exact same. No, I don't have maternity leave. I don't get pregnant, yeah? So we are different than women, yeah? Now let me answer. In Islam, who's more in the world? Or even let's say in the West, because we're in the West. Who's more in the West, men or women? UK, 4 million women more. In America, I'll give you a statistic now. In America, 7.8. In Germany, 5 million. In Ghana, 10 million women more than. Now imagine this. Every man marries a woman. Other women want to get married, want a family. What should they do? Give me a solution. Men go to war and die. The woman becomes a widow. She's looking for someone to look after her and her children. What should she do? Give me an answer. Give me a solution. Okay, Islam gives you the answer, right? Then also Islam gives another right. Islam says that the woman can put a condition before marrying the guy that he doesn't marry another wife. Okay. She has the right. Do you see that? So,
let's go in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia is not perfect. Before you say whatever you're going to say, but go ahead.
So Saudi Arabia, it's my understanding that if a woman has, let's say, breast cancer, she has to get her husband's permission to have treatment. Which to me sounds quite shocking.
I don't know about that. I personally don't know about the laws of Saudi Arabia. But if a woman is going to get harmed, right? Husband is preventing him from taking care of herself. That's not okay in Islam, because Islam tells you not to have harm, not to harm others.
I mean, if you have to have a vasectomy, that is not a harm. That is trying to cure you of a nasty disease. Yeah.
Look. This is permission. It's not permission just for the husband. We have a concept called mihram, which is someone who can be the child, her uncle, anyone related to her, can take her to the doctor. Doesn't even have to be the husband, right? The point is this: Islam is against harm. If she has a problem, he is not allowed to stop her from going there to treat herself, right? So Saudi Arabia is not perfect. You're talking about a law in Saudi Arabia, which is not in other countries. It's not in Egypt. It's not in Morocco. Yes. Do you know why you know about these things? I'll give you an example. Tell me good things you know about Islam. You wouldn't be able to do that.
Well,
Do you know why?
things, there are good things.
Tell me.
Well,
From the
well,
Quran, tell me.
Well, I don't know anything about the Quran.
Oh,
What
from the Hadith.
I can't,
Okay, where are you gonna get it from?
What
Yeah.
I can tell you
Yes.
is that
A good thing in Islam, yeah?
no.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's specific.
Do you know why I ask you the question?
But I can tell you that if you look at the community, they look after each other. It's very.
Again, that's community. I want something in
Yes, but
Islam.
it's-
Does Islam tell them to do that?
I
Do you know why?
don't know.
Do you know why you don't know? Can I answer you? You know, all you asked about so far was controversial, like the marrying four wives, all of these things, right? Why? Because the media and the people around you in the Western society gave you a certain idea of Islam, certain idea of Muslims that you follow. Do you see now do you see the prejudice houses?
The difference is.
But you don't know good things about. I know good things about society. I know.
The difference is.
Yes.
I'm asking you questions that.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm not
No,
saying don't ask me.
Because the
Yeah.
other things are boring. Because if you think about.
If you don't know them, how do you know they're boring or not?
Well,
Look, I give you a verse from the Quran that you agreed with. Like Allah created us in different nations and tribes so you can get to know each other. That's why you see the communities harmony. Because Islam teaches them to do that. Prophet Muhammad in his last ceremony said no difference between a black and a white and black. The difference is piety. That's why we don't have this racism. So it comes back to the religion. It is the seed of these fruits that you see, the beautiful fruits, yeah? So you should give it a read, just keep it in mind.
you won't.
And by the way,
I told you I have super open mind.
yeah, of course, read them.
Because,
Or
I
at
mean,
least
I-
watch videos about Islam from Muslims
I have,
speaking about the
you know,
religion.
I know being a Londoner, born here.
Yeah.
I know people from all different walks of life.
Okay.
From different religious backgrounds to people with money, people with no money, people on the streets, people who live in lovely homes.
Yeah.
And I can get on with anybody and everybody.
Yeah. I can see you're a very, very accepting person. You're a
And-
very rational person.
And
You
I
talk-
believe, I think that's it's nice when everybody can get on.
Yeah.
But then again, I can have very strong views on political views. But it's more about
You would not have a problem with me because I don't deal with politics. I don't care.
But politics is important.
In a sense, it is, yes. In a sense.
For example, in business, in particular,
Yeah. But I see that it causes more problems than good.
there's a lot of problems in politics.
More than good.
And
more than
but you see,
That's why I dislike it, personally.
when you're in business, you get sucked into things, and you sort of. It's good to stay out of politics, definitely.
Yeah.
But when you are in business,
You're forced.
You can't help but get involved
Yeah,
in
you're
certain
forced.
things.
Yeah, you're forced,
Sadiq Khan, who is the mayor of London, he is a total.
You don't like him at
I
all.
don't like him. I find him. And the thing is.
By the way, I'll tell you something. I don't believe. I think I know this is enough about him. He does not even follow the Islamic commandments, right? So I don't think he personally, and I'm not saying in everything in his life. I'm saying in majority of maybe of the things that he does personally, as a person. So even Muslims do not think of Sadiq Khan as a role model or something, someone we look up to. If you ask any Muslim here, do you know Sadiq Khan? I tell you who's that. So it's not even that we don't look at people in high political places and we look up to them. No, we look up to the people who are good in their manners, good in their behavior. This is the people we look up to, right? And we don't look at political people. So if you have a problem with him, you shouldn't worry that Muslims are defending him. You will not see people following him and defending him. You will not see that.
No, I mean, when we left the European, when we voted to leave the European Union on June 23rd, 2016, I voted to leave, and greatest decision this country ever made.
I disagree. As my personal opinion, I disagree because you were just saying in the beginning that diversity is one of the best things about London, right? That's number one. Number two, this country is reliant on other countries for food, for businesses.
Yes.
So when you break because things don't grow here, for example, fruits, food, it's not a possibility to have because of the weather, right?
One of the most important things is this country.
And you have to pay more for food and things. Why would I agree with that?
This country
Yeah.
should trade with the whole world.
I agree they should have a power within themselves, right?
Right.
But
The European Union took that away from us. But
in what sense?
Well, for example, the Commonwealth, which has been our longest political relationship through the Crown, we had to stop. Our trade agreements were stopped when we entered the European Union.
Because they give you access as well to get anything from any country without customs, right? So they open to you.
No, I mean,
No, there is a Euro agreement. It's called the Euro agreement.
There's a
This agreement is that you, for €1, you can get anything.
Very complicated.
Yeah, but I'm saying when they take something, they give an alternative.
But the reason why I was mentioning it is this. The day after I voted, I came down my stairs and my neighbour was with somebody and she said to me, "Oh, you must be over pleased." I said, "Yes." The guy that she was with turned to me and called me a bigot and a racist.
He's wrong. He's wrong. I
And
don't
that
agree
was-
with what he's doing.
That
That's can be honest with you. If you insult a person's personally, you say something personally about him, you do ad hominem against him, you are intellectually weak. You know,
it was crazy.
yeah, you know, no, you're intellectually weak. You know, you
because
cannot,
everybody knows me.
you know, you cannot prove your position, rational discussion. So you resort to a means of insulting.
Because I believe the opposite. Because by trading with the world, with individual
But
traders,
it's problem for us,
We
like me
have-
and you, we're living here, because now there's customs on things, on foods. Foods will become more expensive, right?
we're in a transition.
Sorry?
So we're in a transition.
But we're suffering. we're
No,
suffering.
no,
we're suffering for the
because
transition.
There's always. But the-
Anyways, I don't want to go
world-
to the political idea. That's what I would say, right? I don't defend any
my-
positions or support.
My point was
Yeah.
more than anything was the fact I was the people that like myself that voted were called racists.
No, I have Muslims.
And
I know
that's
Muslims. I can bring you
absolutely-
Muslims, maybe from here, who voted to leave.
And
Some
that
Muslims
is-
did vote to leave as well.
No, of course, of course.
yeah.
That's what frustrates me.
Yeah.
Because it was a big thing. All the lefties.
Don't think all Muslims or
Oh,
all.
no, no,
that's what
no,
I'm trying
I
to
don't
say.
think that.
Yeah, that's why we're having this nice
No,
conversation,
I
right?
don't think that at all.
Yeah,
What
that's
I'm
what happened.
saying is
Yeah.
that this was a white guy.
So I didn't go and say all basically people who like these two people on the train, and everyone I
Let
see,
me
I was
tell
like,
you
you know,
now,
yeah,
This is a white guy.
yeah.
And
Oh,
the-
okay.
No. And the worst thing is,
Yeah.
it's the white guys
Yeah.
or the white women
Yeah.
that have this sort of live in a world of luxury, metropolitan, left-leaning, who are the one, including Celine Khan actually, is part of that group. They're the ones that call you racist.
Yeah.
It is. It's like
could be, yeah.
No. It's,
Yeah.
it is. It's. There's a group of people which I call them left-leaning metropolitan. They're all white,
Yeah.
and they live in their ivory towers in Kensington and Chelsea.
Yeah.
50
But I be
million.
honest, look, on the other group as well, I find a lot of people who are actually that description fits on. I personally do. So you personally, I don't think that description fits on you. But on other people, right, who might support the same political party you do, you would agree with me. There people in the party can be also bad.
Yes.
So
No, that's
we should be
absolutely true.
balanced. That's what I'm
That's
trying to say.
absolutely true.
Also on the left side you're talking about, I'm sure there's also many good people.
No.
So I'm saying it's a balance. We should not
There
basically.
are.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
No,
to say.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a large section of the left that have a huge problem with the Jewish community, and I never really understand that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, anti-Semitic things and of
So
course.
what is your opinion of the Jewish community?
They're humans like every humans in the
That's a
planet.
good
That's
answer.
it.
That's a good answer.
That's my opinion.
Because I could never
I
really
don't. I didn't even. These ideas don't come to my mind. Like it's just humans like other humans in the planet. That's it.
I agree, but I find it very frustrating. But
Yeah.
it comes from the sort of the far left, the sort of the socialists, the
Yeah,
communists.
yeah.
And I think I was like, what is your problem?
It was completely a pleasure to have a discussion with you. I have to pray, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, obviously. Unfortunately, I'll have to stop the conversation. I mean, 100%, 100%.
Dedicated.
And I'll be here, right? I usually here. If you have any questions, you want to ask. Do you want a copy of the Quran? I have one. It's free. Are you sure?
I've got my novel.
Okay. Just give it a read. Any books about Islam, something like that. Yeah. Pleasure talking to you. Thank you for your time. You too.